The arena lights blaze. Cameras flash from every angle. Jake Paul steps into the ring, grinning, bouncing on his heels, feeding off the crowd's energy. He raises his gloves, soaking in the noise. Fans chant his name, some cheering, others booing, but Jake loves every bit of it. He's confident, maybe too confident. Across from him stands his opponent, a tall, quiet black man with calm eyes and a serious expression. No theatrics, no trash talk, just focus. He's here to fight, not to perform. Jake, on the other hand, treats the fight like a show. He points at his opponent, laughs, and starts shouting across the ring. "Hey, you sure you're ready for this? You're about to be on my next highlight reel." The crowd laughs. Jake raises his arms and walks around like he's already won. He shadowboxes dramatically, showing off footwork that looks more like dancing than fighting. Every move screams arrogance, but the crowd eats it up. His opponent doesn't react. He just stares, gloves steady, breathing slow. Not a single word. And that silence? It only makes Jake louder. He smirks again, stepping closer. "Come on, man. You scared? Don't freeze up now." The referee has to separate them before the bell even rings. You can feel the tension rising. Two very different energies clashing in the same ring. Jake is loud, proud, reckless. The other man is silent, composed, dangerous. The commentators hype it up. Jake Paul's confidence is sky high tonight. He says this fight will be over in under a minute. The bell hasn't even rung yet, and Jake is already celebrating like the victory is his. He raises his gloves to the audience again, smiling wide. But somewhere in the crowd, a fan mutters under their breath, "He's underestimating the wrong guy." And that line, that feeling, spreads through the arena like electricity. No one knew that in just 10 seconds. The man Jake mocked would deliver the most shocking knockout of Jake Paul's career. The bell hasn't even rung, but Jake Paul is already performing. He paces back and forth like a caged lion, smirking at his opponent. The crowd chants his name, "Jake, Jake, Jake," while others boo just as loudly. To Jake, every sound feels like validation. He feeds off it. He believes the arena belongs to him. Across the ring, his opponent still hasn't said a word. He's calm, almost too calm. Head slightly bowed, gloves up, eyes locked. He's not here for showtime. He's here for war, but Jake, he's got other plans. He starts talking again, louder, sharper, meaner. "Come on, man. You really think you can stand with me? You don't even look like a fighter." The audience laughs. Jake circles him, mocking his stance. He imitates the way his opponent moves, mimicking his quiet composure like it's a joke. Even the commentators chuckle nervously. Jake Paul looks relaxed, maybe too relaxed tonight. The ref steps in again. "Enough, back to your corners," Jake winks. Yeah. Just getting him ready for his nap. You can almost feel the tension, thick enough to cut with a knife. The crowd's excitement mixes with discomfort. Some people are entertained, others are uneasy. They sense it. Jake's crossing a line. The camera zooms in on the opponent's face. No emotion, no anger, just focus. He's timing everything. Every insult, every movement, every moment, Jake lets his guard down. Then Jake leans in, whispering something only they can hear. Something personal. The opponent's jaw tightens just for a second, then relaxes again. Still calm, still silent, the commentators notice. You can see it in his eyes. He's not going to react with words. He's going to answer with his fists. Jake, now fully hyped, starts bouncing in place, shadowboxing dramatically. He throws a few air punches toward the cameras, grinning. He points at his opponent again. "This is what I do. You're just another clip for my highlight reel." The crowd roars, phones out, everyone recording. They can feel something brewing. Pride versus patience, arrogance versus control. The referee calls both men to the center. "Touch gloves." Jake refuses. He taps his chest instead. "Nah, I don't need to." The opponent nods slightly, no reaction, not even a shrug. He simply adjusts his gloves and steps back. The disrespect is complete. And the silence before the bell rings feels heavy, almost electric. Jake takes a deep breath, bouncing lightly, smiling like he already knows the outcome. His opponent exhales once, steady and calm like a sniper locking in. The announcer's voice booms through the arena. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event." Crowd erupts, fireworks, cheers, chaos. Jake turns toward the audience and raises his gloves, mouthing, 10 seconds, that's all I need." But somewhere in the crowd, someone shouts back, 10 seconds might be all he needs. The cameras catch Jake grinning, oblivious to how right that stranger is. As both fighters stand ready, the difference between them is crystal clear. One is fighting for fame, the other for respect. Jake keeps talking even as the referee gives final instructions. His mic barely picks it up, but you can hear the arrogance dripping in his voice. You're lucky to be here, man. After tonight, no one will remember your name. The opponent doesn't blink. He just shifts his weight slightly, muscles relaxed but ready, like a coiled spring. Jake doesn't notice. He's too busy soaking in the noise, too busy playing the crowd, too busy underestimating the man who's about to humble him. The lights dim slightly, spotlights hit the ring. The crowd chants louder. The commentators sound breathless. Jake looks confident as ever, but you have to wonder. Can confidence become overconfidence? Jake glances toward the cameras, winks and mouths. Watch this. The bell is about to ring. You can hear the metallic clang echo across the arena. For a split second, everything freezes. The crowd holds its breath. The fighters stare at each other. Predator and prey, though no one yet knows who's who. Who do you think will win this one? The loudmouth or the quiet warrior? Drop your prediction in the comments and tell me which country or city you're watching from. The referee shouts, "Fight!" Jake lunges forward, grinning. The calm man doesn't move. Not yet, because he knows something Jake doesn't. The fight won't last long enough for all that talk to matter. The sound echoes through the packed arena. The fight is officially on. Jake Paul shoots forward instantly. No hesitation, no patience. He's grinning, bouncing, taunting as he moves. Every step he takes screams confidence. He throws a quick jab. Light, flashy, more for the camera than his opponent. It lands, barely brushing the other man's gloves. Jake laughs. "That's all you got?" The crowd erupts. Jake plays it up, hands down, head tilted, smirking like he's already in control. He circles fast, showboating, throwing half-speed combos just to show off his speed. The audience roars with every exaggerated move. But his opponent? Still calm, still quiet. He doesn't flinch, doesn't even blink. Every jab Jake throws, he blocks or dodges by a hair. Minimal movement, perfect timing. Jake keeps coming. He's talking nonstop, little bursts of arrogance between punches. "Come on, that all you got? Don't make this easy for me." He lands a body shot and the crowd cheers again. Jake steps back, raises his gloves to the audience, nodding, smiling. He's performing at not fighting, but his opponent isn't here to perform. He's studying Jake, each swing, each lean, each careless opening. He's downloading everything in real time. Jake bounces again, throwing a wild right hook. It misses. The crowd gasps. Jake shrugs, smirks, and keeps going. The opponent steps in closer, still not throwing. He's reading, measuring, waiting. Like a storm building just below the surface. Jake's breathing is heavier now, just a little. Still confident, but his punches are losing precision. His showmanship is starting to slip. You can see the faint frustration in his eyes. Why isn't this guy reacting? Why isn't he scared? Then Jake tries a feint, lowers his guard slightly, and laughs again. "Man, you're too slow." He leans forward, too far, and that's when it happens. For the first time, his opponent moves forward. Just one step, small, silent, but powerful. The crowd notices. The energy shifts. Even the commentators go quiet. Whoa, he's stepping in now. Look at that focus. Jake doesn't back up. He smirks and throws another quick jab. This one sloppy, rushed. His opponent ducks him effortlessly. The crowd gasps again. Jake tries another and faster. It misses by inches. He's missing because he's not calculating. He's reacting emotionally. The other man's eyes lock on Jake's chin. He sees it, open, unguarded. He's patient. He waits one more second. Jake's still talking and still taunting. "Come on, man. You scared? Fight back." The crowd starts to murmur. They can sense something building. That eerie stillness before the storm. Jake goes in again, wild, left, right, uppercut, all fast, all aggressive, none connecting cleanly. His opponent slips each punch effortlessly like water moving around rocks. It's not speed, it's precision. Controlled, technical, deadly. Then, Jake throws a left hook that barely grazes the shoulder. He drops his guard completely. He steps in too close and the calm man moves, quick, sharp. A single counterpunch, lightning fast, perfectly timed. It lands. Not hard, clean. Right on the chin, Jake freezes. For half a second, his expression is pure shock. The crowd gasps, some scream. The punch wasn't loud, but its impact feels thunderous. Jake stumbles back, eyes wide, trying to regain balance. His arms flail slightly, confusion written all over his face. The calm man doesn't chase. He just stands there, composed, silent, like a hunter watching the moment his prey realizes it's already over. The crowd erupts. Chaos, disbelief, awe. The commentators shout over each other. "Oh, that's a huge shot. Jake's hurt. Jake's hurt." But the quiet fighter doesn't even celebrate. He just resets his stance, waiting. He knows it's not over, yet. Jake shakes his head, trying to clear it. He forces a smile, raises his gloves weakly. "I'm fine. I'm fine," he shouts, but his eyes say something else. He's dizzy, and for the first time tonight, he looks scared. The crowd senses it. The energy flips instantly, now from laughter to anticipation. The same people who were cheering Jake's arrogance are now on the edge of their seats. The calm fighter takes one small step forward. Jake backs up slightly, just one step, and instinctively. The tide has turned. If you were in the ring, would you attack first or wait for the perfect counter? Comment below, I really want to know. The camera zooms in on Jake's face. Sweat, shock, and pride all mixed together. He's still talking, still pretending, but his body language tells the truth. And as the bell rings to end the first round, Jake stumbles slightly on his way to his corner. The crowd goes wild. The internet audience can already tell. This fight isn't going to go the way Jake planned. The bell rings for the second round. Jake Paul wipes the sweat from his forehead, breathing heavier than usual. His corner yells advice. "Keep your distance, stick to the jab." But Jake isn't listening. He's embarrassed. That punch from the first round still echoes in his head. He's supposed to be the confident showman, the one who humiliates opponents, not gets humbled. So as he stands up for round two, pride takes over. He storms toward the center of the ring. The crowd is roaring, camera flashes popping everywhere. But the calm fighter, the black man who's been silent the whole time, isn't flustered. He's breathing evenly, shoulders loose, eyes locked. Jake starts swinging again, faster, angrier, sloppier. You can feel the frustration in every punch. He's not fighting smart anymore. He's fighting emotional. Every miss drains him a little more. The other fighter keeps moving like smoke, light on his feet, ducking, slipping, stepping aside. He's not even countering yet, just waiting. The crowd can see it. He's calculating, patient, dangerous. Jake throws a wild right hook and then misses by a mile. He stumbles. The calm man sees the opening, and this time he doesn't hesitate, a quick step in. Left hand flicker jab, pop. Jake's head snaps back. The crowd screams. Jake blinks, tries to shake it off, but another one comes. Pop, straight to the nose. Blood sprays slightly. Jake backs up, guard high now, ego fading. The audience noise shifts from excitement to disbelief. The fans who were laughing before are now silent. Even Jake's corner looks uneasy. Jake tries a desperate swing, the kind you throw when you know the tide has turned. But the calm man sidesteps and lands a perfect counter right. It lands flush. Crack. Jake's eyes roll for half a second. His body wobbles. He takes a step back, then another. Then his legs give out. He collapses flat. The crowd explodes like thunder. Half of them jump up screaming. Others cover their mouths in shock. Cameras flash everywhere. The sound is deafening. Jake Paul, and the loud, cocky YouTuber turned boxer, is lying motionless on the canvas. The same man who was laughing 10 seconds ago, now staring blankly at the ceiling lights. The referee rushes in, waving his arms. The calm fighter just steps back, hands at his sides. No celebration. No screaming. He just looks down at Jake with quiet respect. You can see it in his face then when this wasn't about revenge or fame. It was about respect. About proving that arrogance means nothing when skill and discipline take over. The referee starts counting. 1, 2, 3. Jake's chest rises slowly. He blinks, tries to sit up. But his arms give out again. The count goes on. 4, 5, 6. The arena is pure chaos. Fans yelling, commentators shouting over each other. This is unbelievable. Jake Paul is down. He's out. By 7, Jake rolls to his side, dazed. His mouthguard is halfway out. He looks around, eyes glassy, and he doesn't even know where he is. 8, 9. He tries to stand, but his legs fail again. The fight is over. The referee waves his arms. Knockout. The crowd erupts again, louder than before. Some are cheering for the calm fighter. Some are just in shock. But one thing's clear. Jake Paul's arrogance just met its match. The calm man walks back to his corner, still composed. His coach hugs him. The fighter simply nods, whispers something. Respect first. Always. He doesn't gloat. He doesn't point. He doesn't shout. He turns toward Jake, now still sitting on the mat, and extends a hand. Jake looks up, confused, ashamed, but touched. He hesitates, then takes the hand. The crowd cheers louder. That moment, two fighters, one helping the other up, goes viral instantly. Clips start spreading online within minutes. Thousands of comments flood in. This is how a real fighter acts. Arrogance lost. Respect won. That calm guy taught Jake Paul a life lesson in 10 seconds. Do you think Jake Paul learned something from this fight? Or will he go back to taunting? Type respect if you think humility always wins. As Jake finally gets to his feet, the referee lifts the other man's hand. The crowd gives him a standing ovation. Not because he knocked someone out, but because of how he handled it. No trash talk, no ego. Just quiet strength. Jake glances at him one last time. A look of realization on his face. He nods, whispers something that only the cameras barely catch. You earned that. Respect. The other man smiles faintly. We all do. When we stay humble, the camera zooms in on that handshake. The moment arrogance bowed down to discipline. And as the crowd keeps roaring, one truth becomes crystal clear. But it took that one moment of humility to wake him up. The arena is still buzzing. Jake Paul sits on his stool, towel around his shoulders, staring into space. The world around him is spinning, not just from the punch, but from realization. He doesn't say a word. Not to his coach. Not to the cameras. For once in his life, Jake Paul is silent. Meanwhile, the calm fighter, the man who stayed composed through every insult, every taunt, walks out of the ring with grace. No victory dance. No trash talk, no drama. Just a nod to the audience. And that makes people love him even more. The crowd starts chanting his name. Not in rage, not in hype, but in respect. It's rare in boxing to see a moment like this. Even the commentators can't stop talking about it. He didn't just win the fight, he won hearts. That's the difference between ego and honor. By the time Jake leaves the ring, the story has already exploded online. Clips flood TikTok, YouTube, and X Twitter. Headlines appear within minutes. Jake Paul gets knocked out cold after taunting opponent. Respectful fighter silences Jake Paul with one perfect punch. 10 seconds that shocked the internet. Millions of views went within an hour. Every replay, every angle, every slow-motion clip is trending, and the comments brutal. Jake's name is everywhere, but not how he wanted. That's what happens when arrogance meets experience. He forgot boxing isn't YouTube. One punch. One lesson. Stay humble. Jake scrolls through the posts in his locker room. His phone is blowing up. Messages, memes, tags, notifications nonstop. His expression changes from anger to reflection. For the first time, you can tell, the fame doesn't feel good anymore. He sighs deeply, staring at the clip of himself getting knocked out. The moment plays on loop. His taunt. The smirk. The punch. The fall. Silence. He looks away, eyes closed. I deserve that, he mutters quietly. Meanwhile, the calm fighter, still mostly unknown to the world, sits quietly backstage. Reporters rush to him, cameras flashing, microphones everywhere. How does it feel to knock out Jake Paul? What was going through your mind? Did you plan that counterpunch? But he doesn't brag. He simply smiles. It wasn't about knocking anyone out. It was about staying true to myself, he continues. Respect is earned, not demanded. I didn't fight Jake Paul to humiliate him. I fought to remind people that boxing is about discipline, not arrogance. That quote alone spreads like wildfire. Within hours, it's on every motivational page, every sports channel, every reel. People start calling him the gentleman boxer. Others call him the silent storm. His calm attitude becomes an instant inspiration. Clips of him bowing to the referee and helping Jake up are being shared with captions like, "This is what true sportsmanship looks like." Power with humility, that's real strength. Even celebrities begin to comment. Famous athletes post, "Much respect to this man. We need more fighters like him." Jake's fans, once loud and proud, start posting mixed reactions. Some defend him, some roast him, but most agree he needed this moment. That night, Jake posts on his own account. No fancy graphics, no dramatic intro. Just a simple text on a black screen. I talk too much. He fought with respect. Tonight I learned something. I'll be back, better and quieter. That one post shocks everyone. It's not typical Jake Paul, no ego, no excuses. It's genuine. And just like that, even his haters soften a little. The clip of the fight continues to trend for days. Different languages, different countries, and the same message: respect wins. Arrogance falls. Sports channels replay the moment again and again, breaking it down frame by frame. Commentators analyze the timing, the technique, the precision. But what people really talk about isn't the punch. It's the reaction after it, the handshake. The humility. The quiet message. It becomes symbolic, a viral metaphor. Memes say things like, be humble, before life lands that punch. You can't train arrogance out, but you can learn respect fast. Even schools and motivational speakers start referencing it. That one fight, that 10-second knockout, turns into a global lesson. If you were Jake Paul, what would you do next? Keep fighting or step back and rebuild with humility? Comment below, I want to hear your thoughts. By the end of the week, the calm fighter's social media explodes. Sponsors call him. Boxing legends reach out. He's invited to interviews, talk shows, podcasts. Not because of the knockout, but because of how he handled it. And Jake? He disappears for a while. Goes quiet. No posts, no challenges, no press conferences. Just silence, but that silence speaks louder than anything. Because deep down, everyone knows. Jake Paul just learned the hardest and most valuable lesson of his career. A few weeks have passed since the knockout that shook the internet. The clip is still everywhere. On sports pages, reaction channels, motivational accounts. Every slow-motion replay reminds the world of that 10-second lesson in humility. But while the internet laughs, Jake Paul has gone silent. No uploads, no tweets, no interviews, nothing. For the first time in years, he's out of the spotlight. And people notice. At first, fans assume it's damage control. But behind the scenes, something deeper is happening. Jake's been training again. Not for fame, not for views, but for himself. No cameras. No entourage. Just sweat, silence, and reflection. His coach notices the difference. Jake listens more, talks less. He focuses on the fundamentals. Footwork, breathing, form. He's not performing anymore. He's learning. And after weeks of silence, Jake finally agrees to one interview. A sit-down special with a major sports network. The studio lights come on. Jake walks in quietly. No flashy clothes, no sunglasses, no show-off attitude. Just a hoodie, calm eyes, and honesty. The interviewer leans forward. Jake, let's talk about that night. What really happened in your mind when you got knocked out? Jake takes a deep breath, nods slowly. Honestly, I got humbled. I thought I could talk my way through anything. But that punch, that wasn't just a hit to my chin, it was a hit to my ego. The room goes quiet. Even the interviewer seems surprised by his tone. Jake continues, I disrespected a man who came to do his job with dignity. I made it personal when it wasn't, and I paid the price. Fair and square. He pauses for a moment, looking down. But I'm grateful, because that moment, that embarrassment, taught me something my success never did. Clips of this interview start spreading almost instantly. People react differently this time. Instead of mocking him, they start respecting him. Comments flood in. This is the Jake Paul we needed. Everyone deserves a second chance. Getting knocked down doesn't define you. Staying humble after does. The interviewer asks another question. Have you spoken to the fighter since the match? Jake nods, not yet. But I want to. I owe him an apology, face to face. And just like that, the internet explodes again. People start begging for that reunion. Hashtags trend. Respect moment. Dear Jake and the gentleman, be our second chance. A few days later, it finally happens. A charity event, neutral ground. Both fighters are invited to promote sportsmanship in boxing. When Jake walks in, the atmosphere changes. Not boos, not cheers. Just curiosity. Everyone's waiting for that moment. Then, across the stage, Jake sees him. The calm man, dressed simply, smiling quietly, shaking hands with fans. Jake walks over slowly. No cameras following him this time. He requested that part stay private. But of course, someone records it anyway. Jake extends his hand first. Hey, I just wanted to say I was wrong. The calm man looks at him, smiles warmly, and shakes his hand. You are human. We all are. Jake exhales deeply. That punch, it didn't just wake me up, it changed me. I've been thinking a lot about how I carried myself. You taught me more in 10 seconds than I learned in 10 years. The crowd nearby claps softly, sensing something real happening. The calm fighter nods. Respect isn't about never falling. It's about how you stand back up. That quote hits Jake hard. He nods again, this time with genuine gratitude. Thank you. And if you ever want a rematch on your terms, I'll show up with respect, not ego. The calm fighter chuckles lightly. You don't need a rematch. You already won. The moment you learned that lesson, the clip goes viral again. But this time it's not because of a knockout. It's because of a handshake. Two men, one who learned, one who forgave, standing side by side. Within hours, comments flood social media. Now this is manhood. Humility looks good on Jake. That fighter didn't just knock him out, he helped him grow. Sports networks replay the handshake. Motivational pages pair it with quotes about redemption and self-awareness. Even Jake's biggest critics admit, this version of him feels real. He starts using his platform differently, talking about discipline, accountability, and respect. He visits youth boxing gyms, tells young fighters, don't fight to prove you're better. Fight to prove you've grown. The calm fighter joins him at one of these events, and together they give a joint speech. Ego builds walls. Respect breaks them. That line alone becomes legendary. What's more powerful, revenge or redemption? Drop your answer below and type respect if you believe people can change. By the end of that month, Jake Paul isn't just trending, he's transforming. His old arrogance is gone. In its place, self-awareness, discipline, and gratitude. And the calm fighter, he becomes a global symbol of quiet strength. The man who knocked out Jake Paul, not just in the ring but in the heart. Because sometimes it only takes one punch to change your career, but one handshake to change your life. Months have passed since the fight that broke the internet. But the story didn't end with a knockout. It started there. Jake Paul has changed, not just as a fighter but as a person. His training videos now show focus, not arrogance. No flashy intros, no taunting music, just sweat, discipline, and consistency. He's not chasing views anymore. He's chasing growth. Every now and then he posts a simple message for his fans. Don't fight to prove you're right. Fight to prove you've learned. And it hits differently now because he means it. Meanwhile, the calm fighter, the man who stayed silent and strong, has become a symbol of humility across the world. His words are quoted in gyms, classrooms, and podcasts. Respect isn't something you demand. It's something you show, even when others don't. He's invited to speak at youth programs, teaching young boxers about emotional control, confidence without ego, and the power of silence. He never uses Jake's name when telling the story, only refers to it as the lesson fight, and people love that. Because it's not about who he defeated, it's about what he represented. Jake and the fighter cross paths again months later, this time at a charity boxing event for underprivileged kids. They laugh, shake hands, even spar lightly for the crowd. But this time the energy is different. No tension, no taunting, just mutual respect. The audience watches with admiration. Two men who once stood on opposite sides of arrogance and humility, now standing together for something bigger. Cameras flash, fans cheer, and one kid in the crowd shouts, "Jake! You're my hero, not because you win fights, but because you changed." Jake smiles. Genuinely. "That means more than any belt," he replies. Later that night, a new video goes viral, but this time it's not a knockout. It's a moment. Jake and the fighter standing side by side, holding hands up together under the caption, "Ego lost. Respect won." It racks up millions of views within hours. People from all over the world comment, "This is what real growth looks like." We need more stories like this. From taunting to teaching, what a transformation. Even boxing legends start reposting it, calling it one of the most powerful turnarounds in modern sports. What started as a viral humiliation turned into a worldwide message about humanity, growth, and second chances. Everyone falls, but not everyone rises the right way. What matters most, winning the fight or learning the lesson? Drop your answer below. In the end, Jake Paul's legacy isn't the knockout. It's the redemption that came after. And the calm fighter's legacy isn't just his victory. It's his example of dignity in the face of disrespect. Their story proves one timeless truth. Respect lasts longer than fame. Humility hits harder than any punch. As the camera fades out on both men smiling and shaking hands again, Jake's voice narrates the final words in calm, sincere, reflective. In life, we all get knocked down, but it's not about how hard you fall. It's about how you rise and who you become after. Fade to black. Text on screen. If you believe respect always wins, type respect in the comments. And don't forget, stay humble, stay strong, and never stop learning.